Hello again, my DIY loving friends. I'm Sarah and this is Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. Today, I've got some incredible high-end home decor hacks using Dollar Tree finds that you won't believe. If you're looking to transform your space on a budget, you're in the right place. Let's dive into some DIY magic. So what are you waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this DIY, I'm starting with 36 tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree that I have separated into two groups of 18 blocks. One group will be unpainted and one group will be painted. I will be using Delta acrylic paint in antique white, which I will link for you in the description box below, to paint the group of 18 blocks. And I'm only painting one side of the block because this will be the bottom of my project, and that one side is all you're going to see. I do give some of those 18 blocks 2 coats of paint for full coverage. For the 4 walls of the project, I'm using 82 blocks, and I only need to paint half of them, so that's 41 blocks to be painted for this section. And for those of you keeping track at home, that's a grand total of 118 blocks for the whole project. On those 41 blocks, I'm painting only one thin side of the block plus the tops of those blocks. And again, because this will be the only part that we will see of the walls, just a note here, I did make an effort to separate my blocks so that I would be painting the less attractive stripey Jenga blocks and leaving the more attractive blocks unpainted because, you know, there are always ugly blocks in the bunch. I figured we'd paint over those ones, and those of you that work with tumbling tower blocks, you know exactly what I mean by that. Going back to the 36 blocks for the bottom, I'm assembling the bottom in rows of 12 blocks each that all alternate between painted and unpainted, gluing them side by side. And I'm using Titebond quick and thick wood glue, which I will link for you below, but you can also use the super glue wood glue from Dollar Tree to do this. I just attach each row of 12 blocks and I'm keeping them as straight as I can. With the 3 rows of 12 finished, I attach those 3 rows together, making sure that all the rows are alternating the painted and unpainted blocks. These 3 rows attached together will be the bottom of the project. Then I begin assembling my walls and attaching them to the bottom. They will also be alternating painted and unpainted, but they are all standing up, and I'm attaching them wide side to wide side, with that narrow painted side facing outward. Now I'm starting with the corners just to keep everything in order and keeping my painted and unpainted alternating pattern. So each of my corners will overlap a bit to keep everything even. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Just watch what I'm doing with the pattern on each of the corners, and you can pause or replay the video if needed. And here, as you can see, I'm going to follow that same pattern on each of my 4 walls. I do all of those corners the same way with overlapped blocks. And just to reiterate, here the walls use a total of 82 blocks and the bottom is 36 blocks for a grand total of 118 blocks used in this entire project. I grabbed this small wood tray from Dollar Tree, and the wood is lighter than the natural wood of the blocks. So I made a mixture of water and some apple barrel paint in the color khaki, which I will link for you below. I paint all the sides of the tray with the mixture to give it a darker yellow wood tone. I don't paint the bottom of the tray because you will not see it in the final project. I use some quick and thick wood glue on the bottom of that tray, and I'm attaching it upside down to the underside of my tumbling tower box to act as a riser base and give the riser some height. Lastly, I seal the project with some Mod Podge outdoor sealer to protect it, which I will link for you below. And this is my tumbling tower block summer riser. Words cannot express how much I love the color and tone of this riser. I think it's so elegant, perfect for candles, greenery, or knickknacks, and I plan on using this outside on a table for entertaining. This is the ultimate tumbling tower block high-end summer decor. Honestly, one of my new favorite things, easy and gorgeous. This next super easy DIY is using 5 of these plastic shower curtain rings from Dollar Tree and some thick jute twine I got on Amazon, and I will link it for you below. And I cut a piece of jute slightly longer than the circumference of the ring, and I'm going to use hot glue to attach the end of that piece of twine to the little indented latch part of that ring to secure it in place. Once that short piece of jute is attached, I cut a much longer length of jute that we will be using to weave that shorter piece that we cut. So starting at the same indented area on the ring, I use another dab of hot glue to attach our long piece of jute to the underside of the ring. Then holding the long piece of jute, I begin wrapping it around the ring, but I am alternating it over and then under that shorter piece of jute that's attached to the top of the ring, which sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. It's truly just wrapping the ring with jute, but doing a really simple weave of going over and then under that shorter piece of rope as we go. If you watch what I'm doing, it will make more sense to you to do. I do add just a dab of hot glue every now and then just to keep everything in place. So I keep going over and under and wrapping the rope through the ring until I get to the end of the ring and back to where I started. And I continue to weave the longer rope over and under the shorter piece until there's no more plastic ring showing, at which point I hot glue the ends to the ring and I'm going to trim the excess jute wherever I need to. Then I start on the second ring, which we are going to do the exact same way. However, first we need to open it and attach it to the first ring because, spoiler alert, we're making a woven rope chain using the 5 shower curtain rings. So for this second ring, again, we cut a short piece of jute, the circumference of the ring, glue it in place at the ring closure, and then cut a long piece of jute to weave over and under that shorter piece, the same way we did with the first ring. So it's the same over and under weave until we get to the place we started from, and we glue the end of the rope in place and trim all that excess jute before attaching a third ring and doing it all over again until we have 5 jute woven rings in a chain. And here is my easy jute woven decorative chain, just a simple neutral kind of decor piece that really fits in anywhere. It has a little more flair than just a basic jute wrapped ring chain, but it's still very easy to make. Just the kind of DIY that we love. This next DIY uses 3 of these adorable little plastic mini stemless wine glasses that come in a pack of 6 from Dollar Tree, and this plastic garden dish also from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the stickers from the front and the back of the garden dish. I use some hot glue to attach the wine glasses upside down to the bottom of the garden dish as feet for the dish. And then I'm going to take the whole thing outside to spray paint it with some Rust-Oleum flat white primer that I will link for you below. And once the white paint dries, I'm also going to spray it with this Montana Granite texture spray, which I will also link for you below. I also decided to flip the wine glasses right side up and reattach them that way with the hot glue because I liked the way that looked better. I decided to wrap the legs with some thick jute to cover the connection to the dish, and then I decided to add 3 more rows of the jute to each of the legs because I felt it looked better and balanced out the shape of the wine glass legs. Then I figured, why not add some jute around the lip edge of the plastic garden dish to cover that too? And hey, while we're at it, let's wrap a row of jute around the very bottom of the wine glass legs just to make everything match. Sure, why not? Next, I had 2 of these Dollar Tree children's Luau skirts, so I grabbed one and trimmed the length up to just about 1.5 inches or so long from the top. So it was very short, and I am using some hot glue to attach it to the outside rim of the bowl just under the jute. One skirt wasn't long enough to go around the bowl, so I did cut off a piece of the second skirt and trimmed the length to match the first skirt. Then I glued that piece under the jute rim as well. I ended up adding 2 more rows of the jute twine at the rim of the bowl, but toward the inside, just to make the edge of the bowl less thin looking like plastic and more substantial. I felt like the bowl needed some beads on it somewhere, and luckily I had this Dollar Tree beaded wreath that I've been holding on to forever, and I finally get to use it. And as luck would have it, it's basically the same size as the top of the bowl, so I just added a couple of tiny dabs of hot glue to hold it in place at the top of the bowl, because to be fully transparent, I may want to use that same beaded wreath again in the future. Lastly, I grabbed one of those raffia pieces I cut off of the Luau skirt and I wrapped it around the metal clasp of the beaded wreath just to camouflage it. And this is my boho pedestal bowl. I think the Luau skirt really brings in the extra texture along with the texture spray paint and the beaded wreath. It's a super easy way to add even more to this lovely neutral colored bowl. Perfect for plants or candles and a really beautiful but easy summery decor vibe. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed these Dollar Tree home decor hacks, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more budget-friendly DIYs. Let me know in the comments which DIY was your favorite, or if you have any ideas for future projects. I love hearing from you. And until next time, remember, we're making the world a more beautiful place, one DIY at a time.